is this the main difference between Thai style kicking and Japanese style kicking? So I started training martial arts over 15 years ago in Muay Thai, under Crew Kin at Teesside Muay Thai. And since then, I moved on to professional MMA, had 16 pro MMA fights. I've never formally trained karate, but in that time, I've taken loads of inspiration from Kyokushin's karate-style fighters in K1. Guys like Taiyo Asahisa, Yuki Yoza, Masaki Noiri, and Takeru. And to me, this is the biggest difference I see between Thai-style kicking and Japanese-style kicking. So first, let's look at the Thai-style kicking. This is how I was taught first. The main difference to me is in the standing foot. So in Thai-style kicking, on the standing foot, boom, there's a complete rotation of the foot so that the heel ends up pointing forward and the toes face behind us. Complete rotation of that foot coming up onto the toes here. I was watching a video on Samat Payakru and was saying that this is a Thai way of kicking and not stepping out. They call it the foreigner kick. What are the advantages of getting this full rotation on the toes? Well, it's like getting extra range. It's akin to turning your shoulders into a punch. You know, the full reach of your punch isn't just in your arm. It's that shoulder and the back rotating into it. Same on the kick. The full reach of your leg isn't just the leg. When the hips rotate, you get extra reach. Boom. Here. Another advantage is you end up in the kick kind of side on in a bladed small target by the time you finish the kick. As you kick over here, looking over the shoulder, you're a small target. Your shoulder is going to cover your chin, and there's very little to get at here. Now, a lot of this time, you'll see Japanese fighters kick with the standing foot only at like 45 degrees, and they'll really step into it. Step in here, just like 45 degrees. Not always coming up on the toes, maybe just coming up a little bit. Here. What's the advantage of this? Well, it allows the kick to kind of come up at a 45-degree angle, to come under the elbow. They don't have to set it as much. They can just throw it. And they can land in their stance much quicker to follow up with punches. This is something you see a lot more in Kyokushin Karate and K1. They land the kick, step down square, and follow up with punches. Let's put the mic back on. But yeah, so the disadvantage with the Japanese style of kicking there, boom, they're a bit more of a square target as they're kicking, and they might not get as much reach because their hips aren't fully turning over. But the advantage is as they kick, they can step down and just immediately start throwing punches. Or what we see, they'll throw a punch on one leg. Boom, boom. Here we see a lot like Ryu Narashima's knockouts. He's going right kick, boom, and throwing that liver shot on one leg, which would be very hard to do if he fully rotated over and then tried to rotate back. It would be a little bit slow. Obviously a little bit more square, you don't get the reach, but you can step down into punches very, very quick. This is more due to the Kyokushin Karate style of exchange. Stood in front, throwing body punches, boom, 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 boom. A lot of the time as well, they'll allow the knee to come out and get power from this stretch from the knee all the way to the opposite shoulder. Like there's a big diagonal line coming out here, boom, boom. Whereas in Thai, they want to kick, they might expect the catch, they want to protect that point, they want to kick through the target, and they may be fighting a little bit longer range than a Kyokushin Karate style fight. So they'll fully twist through the heel, pointing towards the opponent at the moment of impact. You want a really good example in MMA, look at Anthony Pettis' knockouts when he was in his prime, his kick knockouts, his liver kicks, his head kicks. That toe would turn completely around, big toe facing behind him, heel facing towards his opponent. So to me, main difference is the angle of the foot. Here, boom, Japanese style, barely stepping out 45 degree, boom, but then they can step down with punches. Thai style, full turn on the toes, getting way up on the toes as well, heel way off the floor, boom, turning over. If you like the content, subscribe. Let me know, what do you think the differences are between Muay Thai kicking, Thai style, and Japanese style? And what do you want to see next? Subscribe, use code HARD10 at RevGear for a discount on these brilliant bags.